What is up, everybody? What's going on? It's your boy Marcus Washington, and we are on the mark where we talk everything Falcons football. Man, what a day! What a day! What a day! So, my day was going pretty smooth. A lot of things that happened today. Justin Timberlake came out with his new song, kind of trying to steal Usher's Super Bowl thunder, but it is what it is. Pretty decent song. I was listening to it. On the way to the movie theater to go see American Fiction. A lot of people know I'm a huge movie fan. Great movie. Go see it when you get a chance. I think it opens worldwide tomorrow. Very good film. While I'm in there, my phone starts going off the hook. I mean off the hook. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? And listen, I like to put my phone on silent as soon as I walk into the movie theater. But I mean, my screen just kept brightening up. I'm like, what is going on, fam? And the biggest turn in probably NFL history. I mean, this turn was so sharp, it caused accidents. The Atlanta Falcons hire Raheem Morris as their head coach. And I was thinking to myself, I got to sit through this movie for 2 hours, for 2 hours with this on my head. Right? First off, a couple of thoughts. I'm not about to give y'all what I think yet, but a couple of thoughts. I think this talk about the Rooney Rule got to that front office. Now, it's funny because my partner about a week ago was talking about we need a black coach, we need a black quarterback, we need a black GM. And I was like, damn, dog, all black everything? It was like all black everything. And then to see this. One, shout out to Rich McKay. This is Rich McKay's team. This is a Rich McKay hire through and through. This Arthur Blank had nothing to do with it. At this point, fam, Rich McKay's running the team. And let me tip my hat to Rich McKay. This is a genius hire for him. He still gets to control the team low key. He has a yes man in Terry Fontenot that has no teeth. He has a coach that has to report to him same way as Arthur Smith, same way as Dan Quinn, same way as Mike Smith. And he gets to knock off the Rooney quota. For people like me who said, bruh, these guys are coming in here. They're coming in here just for an interview. They're not getting the job. He said, no. I got that covered too. I got all my bases covered, and I hired a black coach. Aha, they're going to be happy to see this. Only person right now that's really happy is Rich McKay. Falcons fans, I haven't heard anything. I haven't even researched how this happened. This is just my raw thought about it. Was this the right move? That depends on what you're looking at. For me, I'm glad to see a black man get on, especially in the city of Atlanta. That's a win. However, where I'm perplexed at, and I mean very perplexed, you had Raheem Morris 3 years ago as your interim head coach, and you had a damn good defensive coordinator in Jeff Ulbrich. You let both of them walk. I don't think and I could be wrong, I don't think I've ever seen this in football before, where you fire a guy only to hire him 3 years later. And another thing you can check off is, oh yeah, Raheem Morris, he was a head coach too. And he won a championship with the Rams. Y'all can check all that stuff out. It's perfect for Rich McKay. And this is the problem I have with this hire. It don't got nothing to do with Raheem Morris. Because like I told y'all, once they announced that the head coach is here, I'm on board. Let's get active. What are we doing at the quarterback situation now? My homeboy might be right. They might go all black everything. But you best believe Raheem Morris is answering to Rich McKay. It's probably the reason the thing didn't work out with Bill Belichick. It's probably why the thing didn't really work out with John Harbaugh. Because now we hearing what they threw at John Harbaugh. McKay is running this team. When I saw this come through, I'm like, this is a Rich McKay hire. Anything to cover his ass and make sure his job is secure. This is the guy for it. And if this thing goes all downhill, y'all know who we gonna put it on as a fan base? Raheem Morris and Terry Fontenot. But I want people to remember, one, I'm actually giving Raheem Morris a lot of rope. I'm definitely giving Terry Fontenot a lot of rope, because I'm going to remember that you had Jim Harbaugh, didn't get him. You had Bill Belichick, didn't get him. But then you went and got a guy because he killed his interview, but you fired him 3 years previously. That's the part that baffles me about this hire. This man was the interim head coach. When Dan Quinn walked out of the door, he was your interim guy. He wasn't good enough to keep the job then. You let him walk. You let Jeff Ulbrich walk. Now you let Ryan Nielsen walk. So Raheem Morris is supposed to, what we doing to DC? Because the Rams were 20th in defense this year. They had a worse defense than we did. So I'm like, man, listen, I'm gonna give this. I'm not high, I'm not low on this thing. It's whatever. It's what the Falcons have been doing for 20 plus years. When you have proven winners out here, and you go with these company, Raheem Morris, make no mistakes about it. He's a company guy. This is a Falcons move, fam. I mean, this is it. I'm just perplexed that you this guy wasn't good enough 3 years ago. Rich wanted this guy to protect his ass. I'm not going to forget this. That's why Terry gets a pass and Raheem gets a pass. Because if this thing goes off the rails, which I hope it doesn't. I want to see, as a black man, I want to see Raheem Morris succeed. So I probably got Raheem Morris back a lot more than I would have had a Harbaugh. Definitely a Ben Johnson or a Bobby Slowick. Man, get up out of here with that. But if Raheem Morris fails, I ain't putting this on him. If he fails, McKay's got to get up out of here. I don't believe, fam, nothing in my bones is telling me that this was an Arthur Blank hire. Nothing. But I digress. So now, let me do something real quick. So I put the link to the StreamYard. I'm going to give you guys like 3 or 4 minutes apiece to voice whether you're happy, mid, sad, whatever the case may be. I feel like right now I'm split. Because if he wasn't good enough 3 years ago, what changed? They'll say the title. But he killed it in the end. Like I'm tired of hearing that. I'm just gonna keep it a buck. So I'm gonna add George to the stage, man. George, I'm gonna give you 3 to 4 minutes, man, to voice your opinion uninterrupted. I ain't gonna jump in at all. But I will say, at the end of that 3 or 4 minutes, I'm gonna go ahead and cut you because I'm pretty sure there's gonna be plenty of people that want to get on. So when you hear me go, when you hear me go, that's your 4 minutes.
I ain't gonna take up. I ain't gonna take. Can you hear me, Mark?
Yeah, I can hear you, man.
Okay, I ain't gonna take up that much time. I just got 2 quotes. Same script, different cast, and you pretty much hit the nail on the head. This hire, it wasn't a hire that was best for the team. It was a hire that was best for Rich McKay. And if you're a Falcon fan and you think that this is a good hire, you're part of the problem too. Because if you're not frustrated that we hired Raheem Morris when we had Bill Belichick out there, we could have went after really went after Jim Harbaugh. We didn't really fight for him. It's frustrating. It's frustrating because it's the cycle. In 3 years from now, Mark, when you do your podcast, we're gonna be having the same conversation. Who y'all want as a new coach? It's a cycle. It's like a freaking nightmare, man. We never gonna wake up from it. That's all I gotta say, man. I'm just so blown right now.
Okay, so since you still got about 2 minutes on the clock, let me ask you this: where were you when you got the notification that we had hired Raheem Morris?
Man, I was sitting here on the couch watching Sisters, Tyler Perry's Sisters. and it ruined my show. Like I was sitting here talking, having a conversation with my girlfriend, and then I saw it and it changed my whole demeanor. Cause it's frustrating. Like how you get, nothing against Raheem Morris, nothing against him, but how you go backwards? It's so rich. You're right. It's so Rich McKay. It's so Rich McKay. And I'm like, Arthur Blank is worse than Jerry Jones. I just hope he sell the team because he don't care about us fans. He don't care about winning. He don't. And I see that now. So I'm literally over it. My motto this year is at least we got Georgia. That's all I can say, man.
Well, George, I appreciate you hopping on, man, to, keep it 100. I appreciate that 100%, man. I'm going to go ahead and move on to the next person.
All right,
hey, man, go Georgia.
Yeah. Yep.
All right, man. Okay, so next we got Q coming up. What's happening, Q?
Boy, what's up, boy? Hey, listen. I'm just like everybody else. Rich McKay is written all over this. At this point. The only thing that we could hope for is that he learned what he needed to learn in his 3 years with, the Rams, and that he brings somebody in that's going to help him. But right now, this has Rich McKay written all over it. And the fact that and this is something that I just found out. I didn't even know that Rich McKay was tied in with a lot of the
Oh shoot, Q, you there? I think Q is about to give us some okay, you back?
Oh.
Oh, Q in and out.
In the NFL. I didn't know that.
Oh, hold on, Q. You got to repeat what you just said, man, because you froze up.
Okay. I didn't know that Rich McKay was linked to a lot of facilitating in the NFL when it comes to punt returns, kick returns, whatever you want to say. I didn't know that. I just found that out. So that played a lot into why Bill Belichick didn't come to Atlanta. What people don't want to know or what people didn't know, you know what I'm saying? So right now I'm looking at it like this. I know this was a Rich McKay hire. I hate it for Arthur Blank because he wants to win, but he loves his friends more than anything. Here's what I gotta say for Atlanta, man. Honestly, y'all better hope that we pick the right quarterback, and you better hope that this OC that we and this QB whatever specialist from the Rams, you better hope that they at least get us to the playoffs. You better hope that. Other than that, we're gonna be looking at another 3 years where it's, oh, okay, he tried, and then he's gonna be gone too. But the beauty of it, we gonna get about 2 third round compensatory picks out of it because of the Rooney Rule. So I hate to say it, good to see him back. Good to see him back. But other than that, man, this ain't it, bro. This ain't it. I want him to prove me wrong.
Yeah. Well, Q, it's always good to hear from you, man. It's always good to hear from you.
Yes, sir, bro.
So I'll talk to you in the chat after this, fam.
Yes, sir.
All right. So let me take some time to, because Raheem Morris is there's a lot of Falcons fans right now side-eyeing this hire. Because one, it wasn't expected. Here's what will help Raheem Morris. I don't know what you're gonna do about this defense. If he's calling the defense, I don't know, but I mean, you let Nielsen walk. You got to hit a home run on the quarterback. I hate to sound like my partner who say all black everything, man, but pull the trigger on Justin Fields. I'm at a point now, man, where it's just like I feel like a punch drunk boxer right now. Like I got hit with a shot I did not see coming. And I've been on the canvas for about 3 hours trying to figure this out. Now we know it's a Rich McKay hire. Now, when I got up off my feet, I'm like, this is a Rich McKay hire. We got hired with a Rich McKay left. We got hit with that. But here's the bright side. If this goes left, we know exactly who to look at. No more blaming the GM. No more blaming the head coach. No more of this. Because they showed their hand a day after the season was over. They showed their hand. Terry Fontenot ain't calling the shots. Rich McKay is. So if this whole thing goes off the rails, and in 3 years from now, we talking about looking at another head coach, Rich McKay should be fired. Because ain't nobody going to look at, I'm not looking at Raheem Morris. I'm not looking at Terry Fontenot. From this point on, just like earlier in the season, I stopped looking at Desmond Ridder as being the fault. It was all on Arthur Smith. Because Arthur Smith was the one that got on this hill and decided he was going to die on Desmond Ridder's talent. So I said, okay, if that's what it is, all these losses, they're on you. They're on you. Because we already knew over here, that boy ain't ready to play. Kept trotting him out there. Okay, this boy gonna get you fired now. I'm gonna have that same energy for Rich McKay. So if Raheem Morris gets here and lays an egg, hey man, you know what? It wasn't a good fit the first time you got fired. Now, there could be a chance that Raheem learned something in those 3 years in LA. And again, this ain't a shot on Raheem. I've always liked Raheem Morris. And seeing Atlanta finally hire a black coach? Okay. And I'm rooting for him because this is my team. I ain't got a choice. I'm definitely not rooting for the failure of a black man. Let me say that. But any coach that come in here, I'm not rooting for them to fail because I hate losing. I hate losing. And again, if they get the right quarterback in here, we got talent on the field. My main issue is why you let Ryan Nielsen walk. I'm kind of perplexed. And again, I haven't listened to anything. I only got the alert. That's it. I didn't dig into the reports like I usually do before I hop on here. Nothing. This is just straight raw feeling about this hire. It reeks of Rich McKay. And Rich should not have this much power. Think about this. If Rich McKay wasn't even here, we probably announced Bill Belichick last week. Marcus says, this is a good hire, and I guarantee you he's going to prove all the haters wrong. Listen, honestly, I haven't been on anything, so I don't know. I don't think that, my personal opinion, I'm not hating the hire. The coaching cycle this year, I'm like, why him? We know why, and it came out of no. Y'all remember yesterday we were talking about Bobby Slowick. This came out of nowhere. And he's been here before. But I don't understand. You could have kept Nielsen. I don't know, fam. But after tonight, we'll be moving past this over here. I'm not going to be questioning this after tonight until we get to a place to where we losing again. Then I'm going to bring this up. And it ain't even going to be on Raheem Morris. It's going to be on Rich McKay. Can't put this on Terry Fontenot because remember, they told us Terry Fontenot has input. Now, let me say this. I think Terry Fontenot and Raheem Morris are going to work real good together. I firmly believe that. That's one thing that I'm pretty sure they done probably shared a beer together already. Like, oh, you know we about to blacken this thing up. I really think that they'll work good together. I've never heard. I know when he got his shot at coach a long time ago, he was arrogant, brash, and all that other stuff. I get that. But even as an interim, we were losing games, but it was like, Raheem's doing the best that he can. That defense stepped up, though. But I'm going to give a lot of that. Man, honestly, when Dan Quinn took his hand off the steering wheel, I think this was the fourth year. It was Raheem Morris and Jeff Ulbrich calling the defense. And then we were hearing rumblings about Dan Quinn calling plays too. And I'm like, how y'all got 3 defensive coordinators? That was a mess to begin with. But then when he got fired, Raheem clearly was the interim head coach and Jeff Ulbrich was the defensive coordinator. So now I need to know, is Raheem going to call the defense? Or is he going to bring somebody in here to call the defense? So that's kind of my next step. Like, what are we doing there? Offensively, who's your OC? Who's your OC? So Nathan says, yo, Mark, did you just see the tweet? Fam, I haven't seen anything. He says they said Rich McKay will no longer be involved in day-to-day football operations. If that was the case, they should have went after Belichick. But I digress. Let me find this tweet. That's even gonna make me even more furious. Hold on. Look, even NBC, fam, every listen. Y'all know we keep it 1,000 over here. We keep it 1,000. Let me share this. I just hopped on my other screen. It ain't just fans that know this. This NBC, of course, Mike Florio, in Falcons hiring Raheem Morris over Bill Belichick, Rich McKay wins. And Florio been on his ass for a while. Everybody knows this is a Rich McKay hire. Everybody knows this. Which is disheartening because you have an owner of a team who don't even run his own team. If Arthur, and listen, whether you wanted Bill Belichick or not, that's besides the point. But if Arthur Blank wanted Bill Belichick, why he got to answer to the guy under him? If you want Bill Belichick, go get Bill Belichick. If you wanted Pete Carroll, go get Pete Carroll. If you wanted Jim Harbaugh, you should have never let him leave the first time. Arthur, this is a clear indication that Arthur Blank just signs off on what Rich McKay wants. So, moving forward into hold on, because I'm on here right now. Y'all know I'm about to spend half the night researching all this stuff. Because apparently yesterday, where they were talking about the conversation that cooled off on Bill Belichick, and Bill Belichick is probably going to take a year off, which we talked about. If he doesn't get this job, the best bet is to take a year off because there are no other attractive places, and these dominoes have started to fall now. One had to fall, and then the rest, I mean, people hiring at a ridiculous rate now. But I'm sorry, if I'm Arthur Blank and I got people in these streets talking about this Rich McKay team, man, nah, I'm gonna have to put my foot down somewhere. Okay, so I'm looking at a tweet that says, hold on, interesting. In the Falcons release announcing Raheem Morris as head coach, it says both Morris and Terry Fontenot will report directly to Arthur Blank. Rich McKay remains CEO and will represent the team in league matters and competition committee. Y'all see how they starting to back up off this thing now. Rich hired this guy, bruh. There's no way in hell you're gonna convince me that Arthur Blank decided to spin the block back on Raheem Morris, when the early reports was that he wanted Bill Belichick like he had Viagra for a hard-on. But to me, this front office is dysfunctional, bro. And if I'm gonna be 100%, Raheem Morris shouldn't be reporting directly to Arthur Blank. He should be reporting to Terry Fontenot. And Terry Fontenot should be reporting directly to Arthur Blank. So even with this, the chain of command still a little weird here. But what they did, I'm gonna hire him and then I'm gonna step back. So I have no accountability. None. If this thing falls off the rails, y'all can't say it was me. It's on these two guys. It ain't got nothing to do with me. How does this man still have a job, bruh? And I don't even believe this tweet. Rich McKay remains CEO and will represent the team in league matters and competition committee. That means we should never see Rich McKay in front of a mic. We should never see him in front of a mic again. When it comes to football matters, Rich McKay needs to be on mute. Heaven forbid we have another 7-10 season, and then the exit interview. They don't need to talk to Rich McKay at all, because what they're telling us is, hey, just league matters and the committee stuff. Now, if this is true, let's just say in an alternate reality, this is true. I think Terry Fontenot and Raheem Morris will work well together. I think one of the biggest problems that we've had as a franchise is Rich McKay's hands are in too many things. But this is the part that don't make no sense. If he has, because basically what they're trying to tell you is Rich McKay's control of the day-to-day has been stripped from him. If that's the case, why didn't y'all hire Bill Belichick? This front office is dysfunctional, fam. And it starts at the top, unfortunately, with Arthur Blank. But I mean, what can you do? What can you do? So, after the night, when I lay my head on the pillow, because I'm asleep good. Ate good today. Watched a good movie today. This ain't gonna kill my high. And furthermore, honestly, when it boils down to it, it could have been worse. They could have hired Bobby Slowick, a guy who had less experience than Arthur Smith or Ben Johnson. It could have been worse. So, Rich McKay, they're coming from a playoff run, and I mean, let's talk about some positives, because I don't want to end this video with people thinking that I'm absolutely bashing Raheem Morris, because that is not the case. I actually like Raheem Morris. I liked him when he was here. I thought him and Jeff Ulbrich in tandem did wonders for this defense. We couldn't win a lot of these games. His clock management, though, I didn't really like when he was interim head coach. There were a couple of blunders that happened that should not have happened. But he's been under Sean McVay for the last 3 years. Sean McVay has been an offensive savant for years, on top of, I think Sean McVay is the second youngest coach. I think he's like 36 or 37. So hopefully some of that championship stuff has rubbed off on him. But I got to see what the staff is going to be. I got to see who our DC is going to be. Got to see who our OC is going to be. Then I'm going to research them heavy. But, Raheem Morris, when you look at the Rams, I mean, they were literally, if we being real, fam, the Rams should be playing this week. Because Puka got interfered with. And that should have been called. If that would have been called, they would have been in field goal range and they would have taken the lead. They probably would have bleeded the clock out and then took the lead. Then they're beating Tampa. And you're talking about Raheem Morris again in an NFC championship game. But they didn't get the call. It is what it is, but they made the playoffs. So in the 3 years that he was there, won a chip, he went to the playoffs on a practical rebuild. On a practical rebuild. But my issue, and this is how I kind of feel, that when they let Nielsen go, Raheem was not the guy. They could have been leaning towards Harbaugh, but the Chargers didn't let that boy didn't let him get out the dough. Could have been leaning Bill at that time. But I would have been a lot more comfortable with this hire if Nielsen was still here. Because I'm like, okay, all you need is OC and quarterback. Defense already straight, but Raheem, he's got a pedigree. I don't want to. I'm not gonna say he was stronger than Nielsen, but it is what it is. Let me get to some of these comments, man. G says, Mark, absolutely hoping the best for Raheem. It's just the front office that is very untrustworthy and dysfunctional. I hate right now. Yeah. Alberto says, do you see Cousins with Raheem? Probably not. As crazy as it sounds, with Raheem there, I think they need to go after Justin Fields. They got draft capital. There's no doubt with that. They got draft capital. They got salary. And my partner called this about a week and a half ago. I remember I was on ABG. And my partner talked about this. Man, we need a black GM, we need a black coach, and we need a black quarterback. He said that, and I laughed, and I'm like, everything got to be black, bro? We need to change the culture, man. And he was one of my first, when I got out the movie theater, he was one of the first text messages I actually read. And he was like, 2 down, 1 to go. Javon says, what's going on, Javon? He says, down the stretch, Mark, the defense was trash. Nielsen for sure improved the defense, but come on, we sucked later in the year. There were a couple of games that got away from us. I'll agree with that 100%, especially the last 2 games where we just absolutely just got rolled over. I just think the team clocked out at that point, which is a shame because you still had a shot at the playoffs. But I will agree with that. There were some games where we just as a unit, we could not get on the same page. Install power, what's going on? He said, if I was Terry, I wouldn't do the press conference introducing Raheem because they didn't let me do the last presser. Here's the thing. If I was Terry, I definitely would. I would. And here's why. I don't see the marriage between the GM and the head coach just going sideways. They look like they would get along. But I got to know for sure if Rich McKay is out the paint. Because if you let Terry do his job, I mean, all Terry has done is get us salary cap compliant, which I mean was going to happen, which was going to happen over time. But we brought over Nielsen. We brought over Gray. All the players that we snatched from New Orleans, give it here. We got some good offensive pieces. He brought in Van Jefferson to kind of stack the other side of the line at wide receiver. But I mean, we had a quarterback that was incapable of doing anything, and we had an offensive-minded coach who, now I'm hearing Arthur Smith's got 7 teams looking at him. Well, okay. Good for you. Bobby says, I think Terry and Raheem will work great together. What do you think we should do at QB? At this point, I feel like that trade to Justin Fields is probably more my speed at this point. Dual quarterback, can run, can throw the ball. You got a wide receiver, you got a tight end, you got 2 tight ends, you got 2 running backs. I don't think we're keeping Cordell Patterson. He can make some noise. Gavin says, oh, they about to bring Terry out like an old show pony now. Yeah. Oh man, if I'm Terry, I'm talking noise too. As a matter of fact, if I'm Terry, listen, when we introduce him, I just want to be me and him. Rich ain't, hey, y'all done said that Rich ain't got no power. Rich shouldn't even be up here. Rich shouldn't even be in camera shot. It need to be me, need to be Raheem Morris. Arthur, you can say a couple things. Get the hell out the way after that. Now we talking brass tacks. And a lot of these introductory press conferences, they really don't get into nothing, man. They're kind of boring. Install says, is Jerry Gray going to stay? Good question. Damn good question. Damn good question. Hold on, let me see. Shoot. Man, you know what? Man, moving Jerry on that side of the defense might be the move. Because he was kind of like the unsung hero of that defense. But I don't know. I'm not 100% sure what they're doing. I'm trying to look for it now. I'm not 100% sure what they would do with Jerry Gray. I wouldn't mind him staying though. Maddie says, how long does Jacksonville have to extend Riley? Because if they do, this draft is going to get very interesting. They just have to extend him. That's it. From what I read in that trade, he had to get an extension by a certain time for us to move up in that pick. So I don't think there's a year attached to it, if I'm not mistaken. Jack, what's going on? He says, I think we should get our successor finally to Matt Ryan. Don't put us in QB purgatory by bringing in vets. We should go get Daniels from LSU. Won't cost us a lot of draft capital, I feel like. Okay. Cool. But I think that, a whole lot of, because, the Falcons brass have to admit, man, the fan base has a negative outlook on Rich McKay. And I think they heard that. But I don't know if we talked about, this a couple of weeks ago about chain of command. There should be no reason your head coach and your GM is reporting to Rich McKay 25 times a piece a week. There should be no reason that should be happening. But we'll see, man. This ain't the hire that everybody expected. I didn't wake up this morning with Raheem Morris on my brain as far as coach. But it doesn't shock me that a day after Jim Harbaugh tells them, no, I'm good. I know y'all requested a second. I'm good. Less than 24 hours later, they announced Raheem Morris. But again, this is actually a wait and see situation, fam. We got to see who the DC is going to be, who our offensive coordinator is going to be, what they do at the quarterback position. And again, he's our head coach. I'm about logo business, and we riding. I'm not about to cry over spilled milk and man, we should have hired Belichick. Yeah, no, but whatever. After the night, I'm good. But I tell you, this better hit. This better hit, because if it don't, people gonna be standing outside Flowery Branch with pitchforks and fire, wanting Rich McKay up out of here. because wins enough. I think firmly. Here's another positive, fam. Rodney says, man, and they announced it after the Panthers announced their head coach today, like teams was chasing after Raheem Morris. Well, it's just the domino effect. When one big one goes, you just start seeing coaches get hired. It's how it is, man. I don't think nobody was checking for Raheem Morris, but that's the domino effect. Monica says, I'm happy as hell. It is what it is. Rich McKay. Monica says the boogeyman is dead. So if it's true that Rich McKay no longer has teeth, then I'm with this. But let's look on the flip side, fam. We should have made the playoffs the last 2 years. Couldn't get over the edge. One of the reasons we couldn't get over the edge is because our offense was ass. So they got to hit a home run on the offensive side of the ball. So I'm always about the offensive side of the ball. People know that's my preferred choice to talk about when it comes to this team is this offense. Offense has been absolute cheeks. So if Raheem Morris and Terry Fontenot can work up a game plan to where, hey, our offense was our weak link, and it was a weak link because our quarterback was trash. And if Terry's gonna be honest, because you know how us black folk get around each other now, we get brutally honest. I think Terry Fontenot will tell him, listen, that boy was cheeks. That boy was straight ass, man. I thought I was gonna get fired because of this boy. Yeah, man, I saw y'all. So what you want to do? We go and draft. What's your thought process? I think they're gonna work great together, and if they work great together, I think we'll be able to win some games. But I'm not. It's a Rich McKay hire, but I'm not just ready to throw furniture. Because it could have been worse. It could have been Bobby Slowick, and then we're like, y'all should have kept Arthur Smith then. This guy has less experience than Arthur Smith. Or Ben Johnson. Come on, man. And people genuinely liked Raheem Morris. That's another thing. When Arthur Smith left, man, Arthur Smith was one of the most hated people in Georgia, family. Mostly everybody was ready to get him up out of here. And I'm almost positive Raheem Morris is not trotting Desmond Ridder out here. I'm almost for sure. Raheem ain't looking at that roster and saying, you know what? I can fix this guy. No. So this is kind of like a 50-50. It's like the middle of the road. You could have went high, you didn't. You could have went low, you didn't. You kind of, you're in the middle. Monica says Ryan Clark on ESPN was about to cry when he was talking about Raheem is loved in a lot of places, man. Even in Los Angeles. So again, this hire it crossed out a lot of stuff. There were people out here that wanted Atlanta to hire a black coach because it had never happened. Here you are. This kind of shocked me because I was like, there ain't no way that they're going to hire a black coach. I was wrong. And I'll take that L. I was dead wrong because I was like, there's no way they're going to trot these guys in here. These guys have no chance. but I still think Atlanta might have really been trying to push for Jim Harbaugh. And the Chargers said, nope, he ain't leaving. RUA says, Raheem calling Dez and wifey telling them to start packing the house. Hey, I don't know if y'all saw this, but they had something on Netflix. It was the quarterback. I forget what it's called. I guess it was called Quarterback. It was Kirk Cousins, Patrick Mahomes, and Marcus Mariota. Why they chose Marcus Mariota, I have no idea. But Marcus knew he wasn't staying. Clearly, Marcus was in a rental. He was in a rental house. You know, you look at Kirk Cousins, how it felt like it had been lived in. Patrick Mahomes, you know they in there for some years. But then they went to Marcus Mariota in his house. I'm like, boy, that is a rental. They know they ain't staying that long. Jay Lana says, if they were pushing for Harbaugh so much, apparently, then why didn't they just hire Bill? Because they still could have. Hey, fam, I have no idea. I do not know. I do not know. That's the part that isn't making sense. If Rich McKay is forfeiting power, I don't know what those conversations were. I feel like we'll find out in the subsequent days, though, what really broke down those talks and how did the talks heat up with Raheem Morris? Because, I mean, that happened quick. Rodney says, brotherhood years, here we come, sigh. So yeah, man, it's one of these things where, again, I'm rooting for him. You know, tomorrow, I'll probably do a Friday or a Saturday Night Live. Saturday Night Live. Where, you know, we kind of, and I'll let y'all, you know, kind of, you know, control the show. In you know, who y'all want to see as offensive coordinator, defensive coordinator, et cetera, et cetera. But for me, now that we got the coach out the way, we got to get the quarterback out the way. Those are your home runs right there. But I'm pulling for him, man. You know, I'm not, you know, I haven't heard anybody else's podcasts or videos or anything like that. I haven't seen any Falcons jersey burnings or anything of that nature. It's weird that he wasn't good enough for you 3 years ago, but now he's good enough. That's kind of strange to me, but you know, whatever. So congratulations to Raheem Morris on getting the head coaching gig. I'm standing on logo business. And I told y'all, once they announce, I'm riding. What's going on, Joe? What's happening? So I'm riding. This ain't going to be, and you know, a couple people were hitting me up excited about the hire. But you know, we had one of the main things that we were all pulling for is getting Rich McKay away from these football decisions. I think this might have been his last one, if that tweet is true. I think this might have been his last one right here. Because they listen to the talk, fam. There's too many people out here making videos about the Falcons for them not to hear the talk and the chatter. The Rooney Rule talk, the Rich McKay talk, the quarterback talk. it's too many. That's why they're starting to backtrack Rich McKay now. Oh, he won't be involved no more. Really? Really? So I don't want to see Rich McKay for the rest of the season. I'm dead serious. I am deadly serious. He don't need to be around a mic, a cold mic, a hot mic. He don't need to be sitting anywhere near a mic. And this is probably them making it. This is probably their attempt in restoring Terry Fontenot's dignity that they took from him in that presser. This is probably them saying, "Hey, listen, you know, you're the guy now. Let Terry do his damn job and let Terry cook and let Raheem Morris coach. Y'all get the hell out the way. You got a good roster right now. You get the right QB. I mean, fam, let's just look at this for what it was. We should have made the playoffs last year. Or this year. We should have made it. Do I think Raheem Morris is a step up from Arthur Smith? Yes. He was that 3 years ago. Which puzzles me as to why they fired him. But anyhow, fam. So I'm going to go ahead and get up off here. I feel a lot better. This was like therapy. I don't think people should listen. Now let me say this. I don't think people should be too hot or too cold on this hire. The expectation shouldn't be through the roof. And the expectation should be on the ground. I think it needs to be tempered until we see progress. Even though I like Raheem Morris, we're going to be very real for a minute. He's still a black coach. You don't get the luxury of losing. You really don't. They were talking about, man, there were rumors about pushing Mike Tomlin out the door. This man's he's had 17 consecutive winning seasons. So you about to be Denzel. You about to be Denzel and Remember the Titans. You can't lose too many, bro. Because the same rope that a lot of people gave for Arthur Smith, they ain't going to give for you. Now, for me, you got all the rope in the world because, again, I feel like they should have went after championship medal guys at head coach. He won one, as defensive coordinator. So I'm rooting for the guy, man. I really, really am. I really am. I do like Raheem Morris. I do. And I think he'll be a leader of men on this team. I don't think players are going to clock out on Raheem Morris. I do not. I've never seen that. So, do I think we win more than 7 games next year? Yes. Just on general principle, because we should have won more than 7 this year and last year. But when you have a giggity at quarterback and a giggity at head coach, it's a straight quagmire, and it will be that way. We were trusting guys with nothing on their resume. Desmond Ridder, nothing on it, baby fresh. Still got the tag on him. Trusted him with the whole third rounder. And then trusted Nicolas Cage. Alberto said, "Did Arthur Smith even say thank you to the organization like Dan Quinn when he was let go?" I'm not sure. When they fired Arthur Smith, he immediately got erased from my memory. Like I didn't check to see if he tweeted anything. Nothing. Just like, whatever. Gavin says Grady, Bates, and Pitts have already posted stuff about him. Okay, let's see. I know there. I mean, there are a lot of guys who like Raheem, man. Now listen, what would be dope? Because we've been chiming for a Super Bowl here. Boy. If Raheem Morris was able to achieve that, they putting a statue of your boy outside the bins. Raheem Morris looks like the type of guy that likes Bud, not Bud Light, and he likes his wings mild, super wet. Artavius, bro, did you just say Thickless Cage? Yeah, that's what we was calling him when he got hired. Thickless Cage. But I believe, really, I don't think that Arthur Smith was really a personable person. Like his personality wasn't, and he talked about, I can laugh at myself. Have beer with you. No. Raheem Morris looks like the type on Saturdays he's outside grilling ribs to fall off the bone. He looks like and I mean, it ain't no look. We've seen Raheem Morris before. So we know what the attitude is. We know what the personality is. Arthur Smith's personality rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, mainly media. But when I saw him on Pat McAfee, I think this was his second to last time on there, or maybe his last time, and they were booing him. I'm like, boy, Atlanta fans ain't got no chill. They ain't got no chill. They was booing this man. But hey, man, I'm here for it. Vaughn says Raheem Morris the type of coach to pick up turf from from the bins and just smile. Jerry says, I like this hire. I feel Bill wanted total control and that definitely can be an issue for any organization. We'll find out. We will definitely find out. Trust me, this stuff is gonna start spilling. What Bill wanted, what Atlanta was unwilling to do, et cetera, all that stuff will come out. But that's neither here nor there. This our guy now. Keonis says, out of 3 years, did Arthur Smith do anything in the Atlanta community? I didn't see nothing, so he wasn't connected to the community. He had to get fired. I have no idea. I don't know that either. To my recollection, I never saw anything he did. Now, could be wrong. He could have visited a children's hospital or two. I have no idea, but I don't recall seeing him out there like that. So interesting times ahead, man. Interesting times ahead. Now I'm like, okay, we got the head coach situation out. Do we have to wait until? Well, of course, we have to wait before they can do anything in free agency and all that other stuff. But it's going to be interesting to see the game plan that Terry Fontenot and Raheem Morris cook up now that we're being told that Rich McKay ain't got no input. So, man, and with Terry, I've liked what Terry's done so far. So to get Rich McKay out the paint and actually let Terry cook, man, think about it this way. If Terry was able to do this, reporting to Rich McKay 25 times a week, imagine what this man can do without even talking to Rich McKay. If that's true. All they gotta do, hey Blank, listen. This is what me and Raheem have come up with. We just need you to sign off. Man. It's going to be an interesting couple of months, so buckle the hell up. And let's see what we can do. What's going on, Hucklebuck? He says, do you think the fan base factored into this decision? Yes and no. I think when people like myself and other people were talking about the Rooney Rule and how black coaches were pretty much lame ducks out here, I think that might have helped, because then all of a sudden people were talking about the Rooney Rule. And I think a lot of people in the fan base have been wanting a black head coach. If we're gonna be real, a lot of people in the fan base have been wanting a black coach. So this kills two birds with them. Not only did they meet the Rooney Rule, but they hired a guy, and then they got picks because they hired this guy. And then he's kind of a yes man too. It was a win-win for McKay. But you know what might have been, man, I hope to God this is what happened. Arthur let him pick the coach and then completely took his power from him. I hope that's what happened, because that would have been petty. But I still got a little pettiness in me. Not all of it is gone, but I still got a little. Oh boy, that would have been the move. Rich McKay walking around with his chest all big. Yeah, you know what? We need to go Rich. We need to go Raheem Morris. Bill want too much power. And I do the day-to-day here, Arthur. You know I do the day-to-day here. Okay, go ahead. And then unbeknownst to him, when they announced the coach, he says, hey, listen, you remember what happened a couple years ago? Yeah, that's your role now. The man just got his gig back. We're going to do this a different way. I'm going to let these guys do what they want to do. And who knows, fam, unbeknownst to us, Arthur Blank might not have known that type of heavy communication was going on between Rich McKay and the coach and the general manager. Who knows? When Rich McKay said that, Arthur Blank might have been completely in the dark about that. And after the prayer might be, damn, he 25 times a week? don't even talk to them 25 times a week. And it's my team. But I think from the content creators onto the national media, and I will say this, I do think content creators played a major part in Rich McKay. Not only with that, the local media too. Y'all remember that press conference? They was getting in Rich McKay. And that had to be answered for. But I think us as content creators, we've been on that ass about Rich McKay. Might disagree about a lot of stuff. But the consensus about Rich McKay not needing to be here was thick. So we said a couple of weeks ago, Rich McKay need to be in the background and never seen again. So now you got the tandem of Terry Fontenot and Raheem Morris. So we'll see. We probably ain't going to hear really a lot in the next couple of weeks. I think there'll be some candidates for offensive coordinator and defensive coordinator. So I think those will be the slots that they worry about next. And then quarterback, we ain't going to hear nothing about that for a while. But when free agency opens up, who knows? We'll see. But anyway, fam, I'm about to hop up off here, man. Don't go burning your jerseys, fam. Don't go burning your jerseys. Let's give them a shot. Like we gave Arthur Smith a shot. Like we gave Dan Quinn a shot. Like we gave Mike Smith a shot. He deserves the same shot. As crazy as it sounds, if we would have hired Bobby Slowick, I wouldn't have understood the hire. For sure, I wouldn't have understood that. But it happened. So we got to give him a shot. So I'll leave it on that note, man. Y'all have yourselves a great, fantastic night. Again, if you haven't seen... if you haven't seen it's coming out tomorrow, but if you want to see a good movie, go see American Fiction. It was a great film. Actually, let me do this before I go. And this is going to be completely non-football related. This is movie related. So if y'all were born in the 80s, there was a movie called Roadhouse. Patrick Swayze, Sam Worthington. I'm a diehard movie fan. Like, I would probably say I'm more a diehard movie fan than I am a Falcon fan, and that's saying a lot because I'm a diehard Falcon fan. But the movie was good back then. It don't hold up no more. The 80s movie, it doesn't really hold up. It's straight cheese. It's a good time, but it's cheese. So they had been talking about doing a remake of Roadhouse, and I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that. Bro. I'm just gonna keep. I don't know about that. I don't know about Roadhouse. But then they said Jake Gyllenhaal was in it, and I'm a fan of Jake Gyllenhaal, so I said, I'll wait until the trailer comes out. Well, the trailer came out today. So before I get off here, we're gonna watch this together. So I'm killing two birds with one stone. So I can just go in the living room and eat and mind my business. So let me pause this. And we're gonna see if this is worth entertaining. Now this is a remake of I think this Roadhouse is 1980. $788, something like that. But let's take a look at this.
Before we start, do you have insurance?
What?
Your coverage good? Like, you have dental?
Oh, haha.
Is there a hospital nearby? Is it like too far?
About like 25 minutes, I'd say.
I just slapped you. Are you all right?
What?
God damn.
So you like to fight? You ever win?
No one ever wins a fight.
This ain't the Holiday Inn, pal.
I'm moving.
A friend of mine suggested I come talk to you. I own a roadhouse out in the Florida Keys. Lately, it's been attracting the wrong clientele. I can pay you good money. Judging by your car, you need that.
Well, I like my car.
Think about it.
I know who you are. Elwood Dalton. Big fan, man.
That guy's got a knife under his shirt. You just take a big step back and pop me in the face. You can do it.
Tell me about the Falcons.
That's all nice, like he's Mr. Rogers or something, but then he'll haul off.
God
Really
damn.
interesting guy, overall.
Grant wants to take the roadhouse away from me. He wants to build some resort.
I should warn you. People have a certain way of getting things done around here.
Hey, fellas.
Okay.
Looks like you're having a smashing night. Dalton! I got a tip for you. Don't let no one get this close.
Let me guess. Threaten me. Tell me to get out of town.
I get the impression that he can't be threatened.
Once Knox is on the job, it's over, baby.
It takes a lot to get me angry, but when I am, I just can't let go. People seem a little aggressive around here.
Is that one in front of yours?
No, I just broke his arm.
All right. I don't know about that one, fam. I don't know about that one. Hopefully, hopefully it's on Prime. I don't have to go to the movies to go see that, but pretty interesting nonetheless. But anyway, man, I'm up out of here. I'll probably be back on this weekend, man. Again, I'll let you guys chime in a lot more. G says I'll pass on that movie. G says I'll pass on that movie. Yeah, man, I definitely and I've kind of done it in the past, man, but Stunt says I can't lie. I'm pissed. Yeah, a lot of people, it's a 50-50 proposition with the coach that we got. But I might get on here, man, and talk movies and shows and stuff like that, because even when I was on Facebook, definitely on my personal page, we talked a lot about that, and people have been asking me about movies and shows as of late, so I might do that like on another day or whatever the case may be. But anyway, man, y'all have yourselves a great night. I will holler at y'all sometime this weekend, man. Peace.